and the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it is Saturday, and you know what that means? It's time for all the toy news, action figure news of the week that excited me, that hopefully excites you, and we got a couple of pages of news and notes heading into San Diego Comic-Con. Yes, San Diego Comic-Con is next week. More on that throughout this video here today, but of course, got to give a special thanks to Jay'sToysAndGames.com. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 15% on all in-stock items for sponsoring this edition of the Toy News. Head over to Jay's, tell them Kyle sent you. Deals for days over there at Jay's is what I'm going to say. And of course, make sure you're checking out the Patreon this month. Got 2 Hulk Hogans we're giving away. We're giving away 2 Target exclusive Hulk Hogans, Legends Edition and Ultimate Edition. Check out the Patreon, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of bonus stuff. A lot going on the Patreon every single day between the podcast and both YouTube channels. One-stop shop for everything, glamour shots, you name it, giveaways, Q&As. Speaking of San Diego Comic-Con, I did a San Diego Comic-Con specific Q&A as a Patreon exclusive this week from a beautiful hotel, a Hampton Inn in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So shout out to Hampton Inn in Minneapolis, Minnesota. But I was up there this week. So check out the Patreon for all of that kind of stuff. Giveaway time. I am running a giveaway over on my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show, each and every single Tuesday. Give it a 5-star review. Make sure you email TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, that 5-star review. Be entered to win a great Muda, which we will give away in next week's version of the podcast. And this week, if you watched it already, Midwest professional wrestling legend Gage Octane was my guest co-host as my wife Angie was gone. Angie is back next week in the podcast, and she'll tell us all about her Philadelphia experiment, the city of brotherly love, and all points in between. So quite the wild podcast next week. So check that out. And check out Midwest professional wrestling legend Gage Octane as the co-host of the Kyle Peterson Show this week. So a lot going on between the giveaways, podcast, Patreon, and San Diego Comic-Con, which leads to next week. No toy news, no weekly purchases. I will be in San Diego. I'll be there Wednesday through Saturday morning. I fly out Saturday morning to Chicago. I will meet my wife and kids in Chicago. They're going to a K-pop concert in Wrigley Field. Shout out to K-pop everywhere. But I am going with Jeff George to AEW Collision. So you'll see me at AEW Collision. And then Sunday is the Kane County Toy Show. So a lot of stuff. No rest for the wicked. Ozzy Osbourne style, that's for sure. Going to be a very, very busy week with San Diego Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con, of course, there's a McFarlane event I'm going to. I'm going to go to the Hasbro breakfast. The Cold Slither concert. You know I can't miss out on that one there. Hopefully something with Cold Slither as I'm out there as well. All the panels, all the just different stuff, walking around, seeing everything. We know how that all goes as well. There's also that Toy YouTubers Unite on Friday, so I'm sure there's more of that somewhere else as well. So there's a lot going on. It's going to be a lot crammed into just a couple of days, but it is the big one. It is San Diego Comic-Con, so be on the lookout for coverage. Instead of Toy News weekly purchases, you'll have a lot of videos. Here's the day at the McFarlane event. Here's the day at the McFarlane booth. Here's the G.I. Joe booth. You get the drill. You've been there before. Check that out, and I'll also have videos. Of course, no rest for the wicked. Once again, Ozzy style. We're tributing Ozzy this month as well. I will have content. I will have plenty of videos going up like clockwork. Maybe weird times where it might be 8 a.m. Normally, it might be 10 just because of the time zone change, but you'll get the same amount of content either way. So be on the lookout for all that. But let's dive into it. Let's dive into the toy news. Like I said, I got multiple pages of news here. We're going to start off the 24th San Diego Comic-Con Elite Squad panel. Of course, the Mattel team will be there. Sam Roberts hosting, but we will have Jey Uso, Jacob Fatu, and Julia will be there. And you know that means new figures, new renders, things like that. All of the other stuff we're used to there. But since Jey, Fatu, and Julia are going to be there, you know they're going to show them stuff. They're going to show figures of them, maybe handheld figures, whatever it may be. They always do stuff like that. I do have a video that will be going up on the channel probably next week about what I'd like to see at San Diego Comic-Con. I do that video every single year. You'll see that next week as well. But you know those guys are going to get some stuff. There's rumors of a special guest. All signs pointing to John Cena. He's going to be there for the Peacemaker events and stuff. I could see him coming to the Mattel panel for about an hour. So very good to see good friend of the channel, the John Stockton of fashion, John Cena in person at San Diego Comic-Con. So looking forward to that panel. Going to get all kinds of renders, all kinds of images, all kinds of announcements, all kinds of stuff. Once again, we'll talk about that in that specific San Diego Comic-Con, what I hope to see, what I think we'll see. Video coming to the channel maybe Monday, probably this weekend for Patreon. Shout out to that, but you have to imagine a lot of John Cena is being shown at this event there. So we'll see how that ends up going. Moving on, more wrestling with Mattel. Walmart Con next week. We're going to see a lot of pre-orders, a lot of stuff. Get your money ready. Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. You know they're going to put up a ton of pre-orders next week, so you got to be ready for that as well. But Walmart Con on the 24th. Cena 3-pack should be going up. Scott Steiner Ultimate should be going up. The new Monday Night Wars with Pillman, The Undertaker, Shark, Eric Bischoff, Michael Cole Build-A-Figure, and then the John Cena regular Elite exclusive there. All that stuff's going to be up for pre-order just to be canceled for a lot of people. As of right now, knock on wood, knock on the table, none of my Walmart pre-orders have been canceled yet for the Monday Night Wars and stuff. I have 3 Mudas on order. I'm hoping I can get a Chase. We'll see what happens there. But a lot of people getting those canceled. We'll see what ends up happening. I always order knowing, hey, it could be canceled, but it's a nice fail-safe. And if I find them at the store before, you just cancel your pre-order. At least you got a chance at getting something. It's like a chance you're going to go into the store and it's going to be there. One of those kind of things. I will say there's that exclusive Cena. We've seen the Invisible Cena. We're seeing all these exclusive Cenas. Word I'm hearing is they are not Walmart exclusives forever. They will go to other places like the Ringside Collectibles, Entertainment Earth, Jay's Toys and Games of the world. They're going to have some of these clear Cenas, some of these other special Cenas after a month or two of Walmart having exclusive rights. So if you missed out on Invisible Cena from WWE Shop or Walmart, you got a lot more chances to get that is what I'm hearing. So be on the lookout for that, I guess, in the future. But hopefully Walmart Con goes well. It's always hard at San Diego Comic-Con trying to play all that stuff off your head when you're trying to do 10,000 different things. But it is what it is. We do it every single year, of course. But that's it for the wrestling news this week. But there's a lot. Well, I shouldn't say wrestling. Mattel wrestling news. But we'll have a lot more of that next week. Like I said, I'll cover all that. Cover the panel, cover the booth. And then when I get back from San Diego Comic-Con, we'll do a deep dive video into explaining what we saw, where we go then, and where we go from there as well. But more wrestling news, of course, All In was last weekend. Major Pod was there. We talked about that. We talked about it here in the video of the Toy News last week, is the Tony Storm Big Rubber guy going up $723 for pre-order. Now, these are going to Shop AEW. That's where you order these from. I'm a little concerned with that. We see the MJF recently. I just ordered from there. Exorbitant shipping costs from them at Pro Wrestling Tees. I'm very worried we're going to have like a $15, $18 shipping charge on these Big Rubber guys. I guess we'll see what ends up happening there. But they are going up $723. Tony Storm is going to be there. Who are the other 3 going to be? I would have to think the Major Pod will announce that next week when they film on Monday their podcast. I don't know. Or it'll just be on Shop AEW. I guess we'll find out next week. My guess, and everybody's got guesses out there, what are we going to see? Tony Storm is a shoo-in, and I guarantee we're going to get a black and white repaint of Tony Storm in the future. It just writes itself. I think we're going to get JR, and I think we'll get Sting, Surfer Sting. I think those will be in there as well. Matt Cardona mentioned that a while back, so I just feel like where there's smoke, there's fire. I could see that happening. And then somebody like an MJF makes a lot of sense, or it could be a Kenny Omega. But I think you get 2 classic talents, 2 current talents, and I think that's a pretty good wave, all things considered. So we'll see where it goes, but getting expensive in the Big Rubber guy space, as we've talked about. More and more product coming at us. And I believe they're not going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, the Big Rubber guys, Major Pod guys. However, they're going to have some announcements and things like that next week is what it sounds like. So be on the lookout for all that. A lot going on. A lot of stuff shipping from Big Rubber guys as well. So be on the lookout for those. But now we get into the meat and potato of this video here. It's time for a Power Town update.
Dumb.
Stupid.
Crazy.
Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes,
Leave me alone.
Well, we just wanted to...
I said leave me alone.
You want trouble, huh?
Pal. After any of the stun techniques, run like you've never run before.
You know the drill by now. There's no update, but here we are getting close to the end of July. Remco's supposed to be in our hands by now, supposedly flying over by air. No points anywhere saying those have shipped or they're anywhere near us. I don't know. I guess they could be here by the end of the summer. I think that's what they officially said. So I would expect down to September is probably when we'll see these guys, but I have no idea what's going on. There's still kind of no updates there. If you listen to the Major Pod this week, they were, you could tell, frustrated with Powertown and a lot of the blowback that they got, and it is rough because they're kind of, don't shoot the messenger. Well, they did get shot as being the messenger, but they did speak up for Powertown and a lot of stuff, and I know Brian Myers said months ago he saw the pictures, so there's a lot of, I don't know if bad will is it, but there's a lot of craziness around the whole thing. But we've been talking the craziness here for about 2 years on the channel. I smelled a rat when they had the broken figures, and even before that, when the delays were coming, there was just issue after issue, and it just didn't add up to me. I was doing the calculations Jesse Ventura style, and I knew something was wrong, and it feels like everybody has finally come around to there's something more to the story here, and there definitely is, and I don't think we'll ever get whatever that rest of that story is. But Remco is supposed to be here soon. I'm not going to hold my breath once again. I'm guessing no San Diego Comic-Con presence for Powertown. If there is, I will be there. I'll be all over it. Trust me. But I'm guessing they're not going to San Diego Comic-Con. I just don't think that's in the cards there. I did see this week Wrestle Shop. They've been having all these Powertown sales, and that's the fulfillment partner for Powertown. And if you guys remember back, we had a special investigative journalist actually go to there and get kicked off the premises of that place. But Wrestle Shop, buy one Powertown figure, get one 50% off. Man, oh man, it's wild, of course. Once again, they take your money forever, and now you can get hot deals like this. I don't know what's going on there. None of us know what's going on. I did get an interesting email this week. I'm not going to talk much more about it than what I'm going to say here. But apparently there is some class action lawsuits going on that are getting ready to be filed against Powertown, it sounds like. I'm by no means a part of this or any part of it. I don't really want to be any part of lawsuits. I get enough of that in my daytime job. I don't need any of that in my fun job. Is that what it is? Is it a job, Todd? Verdict's still out sometimes. But it sounds like there's some people that are pretty upset about some things, and they're going to take it to the next level. So follow that for, I guess, in the future. More on that as it comes out or I get it. So Powertown, man, they got to come to it. They got to come to something. I don't know. We all know, and I think we all agree here, they can never do the pre-order model again. It's just never going to work for Powertown. Fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 3 times. Won't get fooled again like a young John Entwistle. Yes, John Entwistle. But that's the Powertown update. Not much out of that, of course. But we do got updates from Grapplers and Gimmicks. Shocker there. Every single week, something going on. Pre-orders up right now. Shipping very soon. Damian Demento looking amazing. Rick the Model, the Martel as well. Still not totally sold on the hairdo there. I'll see how it is in person, though, of course. Damian Demento looks awesome. That's a deep cut. I'm here for that, of course, as well. KWK, they're going to have some announcements with San Diego Comic-Con next week. Usually the Fully Posable podcast, Sean from KWK usually goes on that around San Diego Comic-Con. Have to imagine he's going to do that again. But it looks like we might be getting our well done figures. He showed some pictures of some little bow tie action there. So I would assume that's what it's going to be, unless you're right, Todd McFarland. It's a deep cut from you. Marcus Bagwell, the handsome stranger once upon a time. You love that GWF life just like me, of course. Maybe it's that, but I did see Mark Bagwell lost his leg. Man, that's wild stuff. I wasn't expecting to see that out of the blue. Yeah, I think it was in one like the Maven video. I think Maven posted that. So good luck to Marcus Alexander Bagwell right there. But it looks like well done coming to KWK. We'll stay tuned for that. We did see this week Figure Collections did announce a new toy line and something different in the wrestling space for the most part. I would call this more of a Super 7 reaction style figure, and it, of course, is the Macho Man Randy Savage. No stranger to action figures as well, but it looks to be reaction style figures here, and that's a thing that we haven't seen from the third-party companies. You know, Super 7 did an Andre the Giant once upon a time, but now Figure Collections jumping in. You can use code Kyle, save yourself 10% over there at Figure Collections, of course. But Macho Man reaction style figure, be interesting where that line goes. Be interested to hear from you. Yes, you sitting in the back there. If you're interested in reaction style wrestling figures. I don't know. Reaction stuff, very polarizing. There's a few people that like them. Usually they leave them on card. There's a lot of people that don't like reaction style figures. I'd be interested to hear your take on that in the comments down below. Not done there. We did see Rush Collectibles come through. And I got to say, based on the image they showed of Phantasmo, Memphis wrestling legend, of course, and a cup of coffee in the WWF. Looks actually pretty good. I like the looks of this one. So it'd be interesting to see. They're a little bit in that Powertown world where fool me once, shame on you kind of thing. It'll be interesting to see where this one goes. But I got to say, this looks heads and tails above like the Larry Zbyszko they released many years ago, which we unboxed here on the channel, as you guys remember. So that's Rush Collectibles this week. We also saw Title Run Toys Series 1 in stock, shipping now from their site. Interesting there. I missed the pre-order deadline on this, and now everything is available in stock, shipping out if you want to, which in my brain, I'm like, well, I guess I'm glad I missed that because they didn't sit on my money for a couple of months. I got to use that money for whatever I needed it for. Now I can buy it just regular. Discount codes, things like that going around as well. I think J&J Figures has a discount code. So we'll see what ends up happening there. I don't know. Part of me is like, maybe I just sit Title Run Toys out. I can't collect it all. You can't collect it all, or can you? I don't know. Maybe I sit this one out. It's been an expensive summer. My wife and kids, they're bleeding me dry, folks. Bleeding me dry. We'll see what happens. But if you're after the Title Run Toys, they are available right now. Part of me was leaning, I kind of want that Danny Davis. Maybe I'll buy just that, see how it is, then get the rest. And I go back and forth. You guys know how it is. We also saw Latuni this week, Giant Series Animal with weights. Of course, weights. Going to be interesting to see how that one goes. I really like the idea, but is it too niche? Is it too deep of a cut for the average Joe? I guess we'll find out sooner rather than later. Also an interesting one here, another Macho Man LJN style. This one from the toy commercial where Macho opened up his robe, had a bunch of figures inside the robe. We did get that here from Latuni. So that one will be coming up for pre-order, I think the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. So Latuni keeps sending out all the kind of stuff. Demolition Axe shipping right now. It's just tough to keep up with a lot of this stuff. I know if I can't keep up, I know a lot of people watching can't keep up with all this stuff, that's for sure. But another Macho Man from Latuni coming in extra hot around San Diego Comic-Con. But that's it for the wrestling news. But that's not it for the toy news, because as Jerry Reed always says, we've got a long way to go and a short time. And Jerry Reed, he's got a lot to say, as we do know. Shout out to Jerry Reed, legend, of course. But now we're going to dive into some G.I. Joe and Cold Slither in action this week. I can't wait to check it out. I did talk to Gus Zartan, the leader of the Dreadnoks. Very excited for this performance. He's a fan of the channel, and he will be there, and I can't wait to meet him in person. So very excited to see Cold Slither live in performance. And apparently they'll be at San Diego Comic-Con. I think the Stern Pinball, they're going to have like a signing there. And I think they're going to be at the Hasbro booth somewhere in there as well. So hopefully get a picture with the Dreadnoks in their Cold Slither gear. Man, oh man, that would be the photo I want there. So we'll see what happens there. But they did announce the 24th. It is going up for order on Hasbro Pulse. Now, I was very interested as I was filling out my lottery tickets, whatever you want to call them, for San Diego Comic-Con. There was nothing for the Hasbro booth. You could try to win your spots in the Mattel Jazzwares, because once again, just because you go to San Diego Comic-Con does not guarantee you get the exclusives. You got to be picked for a time slot. You got to be picked to be able to win these things. So it's not as easy as people do think it is. So there was nothing for Hasbro, though, which I thought was interesting. And I think the only thing I want from Hasbro is the Savage Land 3-pack and, of course, Cold Slither. Well, they announced it here on Friday. Cold Slither pack going up on the 24th. $125 for this pack. But Pulse members get a 1-week heads up. They get a start for a week order. And then 8/1, it's available to the general public if supplies remain, I guess. So to me, apparently, I'm not going to be able to pick up Cold Slither at the show. You're going to have to order it on the 24th, and it'll ship to your house, which, you know, a lot of people will buy it at the show, ship it to their house anyway. So I guess that kind of works out. But I was kind of hoping I could have it in my hand. Is what it is, though. But that is going to be possibly my favorite exclusive of San Diego Comic-Con. We'll probably end up doing a top 5 exclusives from San Diego Comic-Con on the channel as well down the road in a couple of weeks after the dust settles, maybe. We'll see where that goes there. But very excited for the Cold Slither pack. And it's a set, and it's a thing I've wanted since I was a little kid. Obviously, being a heavy metal kid, I love that. But I love the Joes. I love the cartoon. And I thought Cold Slither was amazing. Would love to have the Joe band as well. Maybe leave Duke out of it. He doesn't need to be involved in that. I would love to see that kind of stuff. We'll see what ends up happening, though. But I'm very excited for the concert and the figures. And I guess we'll have to order it online. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get it at the show from what I'm reading there. But we're not done. The G.I. Joe team, for whatever reason, a little bit of a head scratcher. And I did check. I got the old wooden spoon thing out there. No lice. No lice here today. But they did announce some G.I. Joe Classified. They showed the renders. So my hope is, hey, they're showing renders this week. That means we're going to see the full Monty. Well, there's a deep one. No, don't go full Monty. You just hold on, Todd. We'll get to you in a second. I'm hoping we see the actual figures at San Diego Comic-Con. That's kind of what it feels like it should be to me. It's like, oh, we should have put those renders out for Yojo June. We missed the boat. We'll show them right now, and then we'll show them at the San Diego Comic-Con. We'll see what happens. But we got Wetsuit coming. Can't wait to pair him with Leatherneck. Oh, boy. The great twosome that hasn't been top since Alpine and Bazooka, maybe. Who knows? We've got Wetsuit coming in extra hot. Mainframe, and always a favorite of mine. Somebody get Zorana with him. We'll have that couple. Starcrust lovers, Romeo and Juliet, if you will. We got Mainframe coming into it. Sci-Fi, a much wanted character for a lot of people. I see a lot of reuse potential out of this Sci-Fi as well. Sci-Fi, an all-timer for me, a favorite of mine as a little kid. Good to see that one. We get a new Cobra Trooper in the Grim Viper. Range Viper redone for, you gotta get the most out of your molds. This will be the third, fourth time we've seen this, but it is the Grim Viper. And then the Desert Scorpion, another favorite of mine when I was a kid. Boy, the Scorpion's been on steroids since I was a kid, though. Going to be a big deluxe pack, as you can imagine. But the Desert Scorpion looks really, really good. So we saw those. We should be able to see those, hopefully, in person at San Diego Comic-Con. And then last, but certainly not least for the Joe team, it is, of course, the Snowcat, the Hasbro Pulse HasLab going on right now. As I just checked before I started filming, 7,008 sold. Need 8,000 to fund Snowcat and Frostbite. I don't think we'll have any problems with that. I really think we'll get Flint because, I mean, it's Flint at the end of the day. But I think it's, times are turbulent out there in the world, as we know. Summertime, if anybody's like me, their wallets are getting eaten alive and money's going out faster than it's coming in at a record pace. I think that's going on for a lot of people right now. But I do think it'll fully fund. I think it'll get a nice shot in the arm at San Diego Comic-Con when everybody like myself taking pictures of it, checking it out, looking at it and stuff. And you'll get a big shot on the arm there. And then, of course, at the end, the last day, you always get a big shot in the arm there. And then you'll get some trinkles in between. So I do think we'll be fully backed by the time everything is said and done. But I have to think we'll hit 8,000 around San Diego Comic-Con as well. But the Snowcat looks to be coming at us one way or the other. Hopefully we get the tiers. Because if we backed it, hey, more free stuff is better than nothing. But the Snowcat coming in hot, like I said, 7,008 as we sit right now. We did see Masters of the Universe Club Grayskull. Got my collar on once again. Got that ready to go. I'm going to walk right in the club. I'm hoping they have like a makeshift club at San Diego Comic-Con where they say, "Oh, Mr. Peterson, you're welcome." And they pull the rope back and I get walked right in. I pop my collar and give it a look to everybody that can't get in. You with a non-collared shirt, you're not welcome in Club Grayskull like me. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe it won't. Who knows? We'll see where it goes from there. But it looks like the 25th, we got another pre-order. Man, they just keep coming at us. Coming at us, Todd. That's what they do with that Club Grayskull. But the 25th, we'll have another one there. Be on the lookout for that, I guess. This week, via email, NECA store exclusive, temporarily at least. Last Ronin 4-pack. It's like those little baby turtles from the Casey Marie, April O'Neil. But they've grown up to actual turtles. And apparently a new book, new story. I don't follow any of that, but I'm interested. However, I did see that they're going to release a normal, just regular store set of that. I'm going to pick that one up. I don't need this deluxe version with the lithograph and the book and the autographs. You got to pinch your pennies somewhere, and that's a place I can pinch some pennies there. But that is kind of cool. It looks really cool. It's almost like Turtles the Next Generation. So very cool to see that Last Ronin one. Get it at the next store right now or eventually all other retailers. It sounds like Walmart Con, we talked about it earlier for wrestling. Well, it goes on for more than just wrestling, as we know. Hellfire Club Spidey going up on the 24th. Velocity Suit Spidey on the 24th. And of course, we talked G.I. Joe, but we got Beachhead and Quick Kick from the Night Force team going up on top of a bunch of wrestling. Wouldn't be shocked to see a few more things pepper in, some NECA stuff pepper in. I guess as we get closer to the 24th, we'll see some of that kind of stuff. Moving over to Mondo, very interesting. I think as of now, as I'm filming, no Masters of the Universe Mondo figure this year, which, hey, my wallet can use a break, so I'm okay with that. But we did see Robin from the Batman animated series. Looks really cool. I have Bane, I have Batman. I'm like, do I need Robin to go with my Batman? I'm like, no. I'm just going to keep it at those two. And I still got to get around to unboxing that Batman and Bane on the channel. One of these days we'll get that done. We also saw Rogue from X-Men animated series from the Savage Land. And of course, we're getting that from Marvel Legends as their exclusive this year as well. It's all coming up Rogue in skimpy outfits. It's like my videos around here as of late. If you know, you know. My wife Angie, of course. Salt of the earth and then some. But Rogue looking only like a Rogue could look, and a lot of people are going to want this one. A perfect exclusive, if you ask me, for San Diego Comic-Con. Unfortunately for me, once again, I can't get it all. I want to be in on that line. It's just I'm all in on the He-Man, and that's where it's going to have to end, unfortunately. So I'll have to admire Rogue from afar. I'll just sit there and maybe ogle her a little bit. Who knows? But that is going up at San Diego Comic-Con on top of all kinds of other posters, all kinds of stuff from Mondo. And we'll cover the Mondo booth. Have to imagine we'll see some cool stuff there at San Diego Comic-Con once again, a theme of this episode. And speaking of San Diego Comic-Con, it looks like Mythic Legion's going to be at the con this year. And I think I saw a post somewhere that they're kind of like sharing a space with a lot of other people. Big Bad Workshop, they're all going to be kind of in a space. And that makes a lot of sense. Some of these small toy companies teaming together to get some booth space together to get represented. They're not going to have the huge space like Mattel has because they don't have the funds for that, but they join in together. And once again, like the Who, they join together with the band. They jump in there and they get everything going. So going to be interested to see some of that, but there is a Mythic Legion exclusive at San Diego Comic-Con. Have to imagine that thing's going to sell out really quick every single day, but stranger things have happened. Going to try to pick one of those up if I possibly can. So we'll see what happens right there. And that figure is going to go along with their new role-playing game. You guys know me. I don't got time for these games. No time for these games, unfortunately. We also saw some Super 7 news this week, and I wouldn't say this came out of left field. If you guys have watched the toy news for a long time, I've put the business hat on a time or two. As a businessman myself in my day job, just knowing kind of this, looking and reading between the lines. And if you guys remember, it was about a year ago that Super 7 got funded with some extra cash, and some investment into the company. And I said, that's great for right now, but mark my words, 1 year later, you're going to see some changes. That's what happens. I've had it like 10 times in my work career. Whenever there's something going, there's a CEO change, there's a merger or something, give it a year and then you're going to see changes. A lot of us has been there, of course. But we saw that with Super 7 this week as Brian Flynn is no longer leading the ship, of course, over there at Super 7. We now have Jeff Walker, and I don't know, do we trust Jeffs with a G? I don't know. It's a dangerous game there. I always think Jeff with a J, like Jeff George, good friend of the channel. Jeff with a G could be dangerous. So there could be something there, or maybe nothing at all. Shout out to all the G Jeffs out there. But Jeff Walker is the new CEO. Brian Flynn is now the Chief Creative Officer, which, you know, there's always spin in these things. There's egos, there's all kinds of stuff. I don't know anything, but Brian Flynn, I think, will say, and I don't know if he's made an announcement or anything, he's going to enjoy the Chief Creative Officer because I guarantee that's his favorite thing is to create. So I'm sure he'll like this here. But it always is interesting when, you know, you got a new CEO, you got to go to the side. Going to be interested to see what changes Jeff Walker makes. We did just see a bunch of job eliminations at Super 7. Once again, going to that, what I told you guys a year ago, there's going to be changes, Whenever something like this happens, it just doesn't happen and things stay the same. It's to change things, and we're seeing a lot of changes with Super 7. And we're also seeing a lot of frustrations with Super 7 as I was, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say it, Todd. I was pretty pissed off. This week, and I don't get to those crazy bad words like that, do I, Todd? You don't hear me say things like that, but I was this week because Super 7 did announce, and we teased it last week. We were hoping it was something different. I was hoping it was something different, but it is Panthro, the animated edition Panthro, which we all need in our collection. But we'll get back to him. But it's the Thunder Tank in the LJN action figure cartoon series, whatever you want to call it, version. Now, we already have a Thunder Tank. It's giant. It's as big as this table. Now we're getting another Thunder Tank. Basically the same thing with a little bit of different paint, a little bit of different bells and whistles, but basically the same thing. Once again, gotta get the most out of your molds. I get it. That's what they're doing here. And you're looking at $500 for this. $500. Yes, Panthro's included, which really pisses me off once again because everybody needs Panthro in their collection. Now we can't get it unless we get the Thunder Tank. Maybe I should just cancel this side collection I got going on here because I don't have room. Many of us don't have room or even want to have room for 2 Thunder Tanks. I don't need 2 Thunder Tanks. And I know it. Somebody's going to say in the comments, well, all I collect is Thundercats, so I can use that. Well, good for you. You're not the majority, but it's great for you, of course. But I don't like it. $500. Now, think back to Thunder Tank Part 1. I got my pre-order in day one. I forget what that thing cost. Probably $500. Let's say it was $500 or $400, whatever was shipping. Whatever it was, they sat on our money for a year plus. We remember that, right? Well, then what happened after the Thunder Tanks all shipped out? Amazon has a hot sale. Big Bad Toy Store has a hot sale. Entertainment Earth. Way cheaper than us that day one funded this bad boy. And we could have got it way cheaper. I could have saved hundreds of dollars in that Thunder Tank. So once again, fool me once. You're not going to get fooled again, of course, like a young Keith Moon. We're not gonna. So I'm not pre-ordering this. I'm skipping this. I was a completist until right now. I don't need another Thunder Tank. I was hoping they would do that mini Thunder Tank kind of from the action figure line back in the day. Thought that would have been kind of cool. That would be something a little bit different. But man, when you got that Thunder Tank going on and then the Sky Cutter and Vulture Man, which you're down to the wire to pre-order that, and I will pre-order that under protest, under extreme protest, Todd McFarlane. I will pre-order that. but there's not enough money going around. There's not. Once again, you throw $500 on top of that, on top of everything else, it's just not going to happen. And I fully expect this Thunder Tank not to get a whole lot of sales. And it'll be interesting if they're just going to be one of those ones, because we've seen it with Super 7 before. Don't get enough pre-orders, there's not enough interest, they end up canceling it. We've seen that happen in the past. If it's going to ever happen again, it would have to happen with this Thunder Tank, because I just don't think there's enough people out there that are willing to put $500 towards that here. When you're dealing with San Diego Comic-Con, you're dealing with summer vacations, you're dealing with back-to-school time frame. Maybe you're getting a snow cap, maybe you're getting Mondo stuff, maybe you're getting the Cold Slither stuff. Who knows what you're up to, but that's a lot of money to ask, especially this time of year when they got a lot of other stuff going on with the Sky Cutter and Vulture Man as well. So I'm a little passionate about that, but I'm passing. Hey, maybe I'll get it in a year from now when it's $200 on clearance at Amazon if that happens. I don't know, but I just don't like how it smells. I just don't like the smell of it all. I don't. Oh, that's you? Oh, that's Todd over there. He said, okay, well, I don't like that smell, but I don't like what's going on here with this Thunder Tank. And I'd be interested in your thoughts on this Thunder Tank as well. And the last thing with Super 7, it is the G.I. Joe Ultimates. What's going on with that? We better see more figures of that at San Diego. I'm going to be asking those questions as well. And I'm going to say, where's this red laser? I got my Walmart order canceled. Now I'm not complete on that line. I don't even like the red laser, but I need him in my collection. Where is he? I'm going to ask that question too. But Flint, Tiger Force, Destro, Python Patrol in stock right now at Super 7. I'm going to play a little bit of the couple extra week long game. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to jaystoysandgames.com, pick them up over there, wait for them to be in stock, and guess what? Save 15% with code Kyle. That's my plan for those. Got to get a deal, and these being $65 doesn't feel right to me. 15% off is going to make that feel a little bit better. So look at that here in the near future. Of course, I'll let you guys know when that happens. But now, Todd, we're turning our attention over to you. Yes, we're turning our attention over to you. Todd coming hot this week. He does got a live show, panel, whatever you want to call it, from San Diego Comic-Con. Now, Todd, you got that little soiree going on again. Invite only, of course. And I was very nice of you to ask me to go once again. Can't wait to hang out with you in San Diego. We'll look over the city. You know, we'll eat some ice cream and just have a good old time, you and me. We'll just bro out is what Todd and I are going to do. I might even take my shoes and socks off. I might. We'll see what happens. But I can't wait to go to that Todd party, see what's going on, see a lot of that new stuff. But then they're going to do a live stream on YouTube, of course. Probably showing all the new stuff at that party is my guess what they're going to do. But can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see what Todd's got in store. I basically get off the plane, Uber straight to that event, and then you go to preview night right after that. So it's going to be a busy day. It's going to be busy every day at San Diego Comic-Con. But can't wait to see some of that kind of stuff. But Todd already showing some stuff and already showing some more exclusives this week. Down to the wire on the exclusives, but they're coming out with Todd here. First off, though, we got Peacemaker Eagly Deluxe Edition. That's going to be pretty darn cool. We got a Peacemaker once upon a time. Not the best. A lot of us, myself included, used a Hollywood John Cena head in place of the head McFarlane gave us. This one looking a lot better. We get Eagly this time. We get multiple heads. You get weapons. Adult collectors only for this one. Peacemaker coming in hot, and that's going to be part of the Peacemaker event at San Diego Comic-Con. Of course, John Cena, boots on the ground, giving peace to everybody, I guess, in San Diego. So we'll see that. And then we saw Dark Star, Dark Archer. I don't know how well these are going to sell, but I did see the Dark Star. The Platinum Edition has multiple heads, so you can move some things around. Maybe get some repeat buys out of that. We'll see where that one goes. We talked about those figures the last couple of weeks. Getting into exclusives from McFarlane this week. Kingdom Come Superman. We saw that, I think, the last McFarlane live stream. That is going to be a part of this as an exclusive. I'm going to have to pick that one up. Also, they announced on Friday the Gold Edition Hush exclusive, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive of Batman. You can't have San Diego Comic-Con without a Batman exclusive. We're getting that one there. They did mention Beast Boy exclusive a couple of weeks ago, so we'll know that'll be there. And then their new Mortal Kombat line, a 2-pack glow-in-the-dark, Raiden and Sub-Zero. So a lot of stuff to keep us busy, Todd, over there. And Todd's stuff sells pretty quick at San Diego Comic-Con. I missed out on, I think, Agent Liberty the last year, or the year before that, because it sold out quick every single day. I missed out on it. So we'll see what we can get from there. But last but not least, Todd, I got a bone to pick, and not that bone. It is Rob Halford. Of course, Rob Halford, Judas Priest, one of my absolute all-time favorite bands, absolute all-time favorite frontman. Love me some Halford. And the Music Maniacs line is coming out with a Rob Halford figure. You're playing all the hits for old Kyle here, and I will pick this up to support it. However, this is a little bit less than for Rob Halford. This is Santa Rob Halford from the modern day, which still better than no Rob Halford at all. I like Santa Rob Halford. Just the head sculpt on this one, just a little bit off. I'm hoping it looks better in person, but man, oh man, and I understand it. We're putting our business hat on, and a lot of people argue this when I ever say it. Feel free to jump in the comments. But what they do is, and Todd, you're no different than anybody else, you give us old man Halford, where people want old school denim and leather. You want the leather, the chains, the whip. You want that. You want the motorcycle. That's the Halford everybody wants. We can all agree on that. But what you do is you put out old man Halford first and like, oh, it's not the Halford I want, but man, I got to have a Halford in my collection. So people buy this one. And then 6 months, a year later, what do we get? We get the motorcycle Rob Halford. That's how you do it, because if you give that motorcycle Rob Halford first, everybody gets that, and well, I'm done. I don't need any more Rob Halfords in my collection. Then old man Halford doesn't sell at all. That's what happens. So they always have to do that with these toy industry things. But man, oh man, I'm excited for the Music Maniacs line to see where it goes in the future. If we're getting Halford, who else are we going to get? Could we get the rest of Black Sabbath? We know we got Ozzy before. We got Alice Cooper, Freddie Mercury, Slash, but there's a lot. Can we get Iron Maidens? Can we get more of those? We got one Eddie. Could we get every single Eddie? I think that would be very fun. Of course, I'm biased. Give me Motorhead all day long. Todd, I've been working on you forever. Let's get Lemmy in that. I know you said you'd work on it. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of meat on the bone for the Music Maniacs for me personally, so I'm hoping we'll see some more of that at San Diego Comic-Con. And speaking of San Diego Comic-Con, we're done. That's the toy news this week. A lot. I zipped through it as fast as I could. Of course, no toy news next week, but we'll have updates from San Diego Comic-Con, so look for those out there. It's going to be a busy, busy week, as you guys do know as well. A lot of content to come, and I will be filming a lot of content that'll come out next week. Like I said, the times, usually I'm like clockwork. I work in Central Time, so 8 a.m., 1 o'clock, and 6 o'clock like clockwork. Well, it could be 10 a.m., noon, 8 o'clock, whatever it may be, but you'll get your videos. You'll get your videos. Hardest working man on YouTube. Hardest working man on the planet, Todd. I passed up you not too long ago, as we do know. But always moving, always shaking, just a song and dance man at the end of the day, as you guys do know. But make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Got to thank everybody. We hit 52,000 subscribers like a week or so ago. Did a special top 10 one-hit wonder countdown this week, so check that out. And make sure you subscribe. Let's get to 100,000 by the time I'm 50. Maybe 60? We'll see. 70? Oh my gosh, maybe. We'll see if we can make it that long, but make sure you subscribe to this channel. Don't forget my other channel with content every single day. Don't forget the Patreon, YouTube channel memberships as well. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. And of course, my podcast with my wife, Angie, The Kyle Peterson Show, each and every Tuesday. Put in the comments what you're excited to see at San Diego Comic-Con, and we'll see what happens there. So you know what I'm doing? I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way to another weekend.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?